Darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take all your and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out his warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are ringing on the subway walls, tenement halls, whispered the sound of silence. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend, just what you want to be, you will be in the end, and I love you. Yes, I love nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Yes, I love There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we need. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. are the world. We are the children. We are the one to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. If we make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all. But if we just believe, somewhere we can find. But we're not realize, oh, that a change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own life. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Oh, let me hear it. We are the one. We are the children. Let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Come on, Lord, let me hear you. We are the world. We are the children. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Yeah. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving. So let's start giving. There's a choice for me. Yeah, we're saving our lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. We are the world. We are the children. So, we are the ones that make a better day. We'll start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. All right, you can hear what I say. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me.
Hey, Star Mama.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doesn't take much. Pretty good. I just clicked off the video. It was a commercial.
Oh,
Yeah, those were the days, weren't they, you guys?
yeah,
When
they
that
were.
came in, those were the days for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The air was clean, the food was pure, and people knew their place, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that in a good way.
Right.
And mothers and mother-in-laws were available to babysit.
Yeah, they
It was
were.
before, it was before the daycare centers were born.
Right. Yeah, back in those days, you almost had to find a person that would babysit for you or a relative because you just,
Yeah,
had a lot of young teenage girls that come in and watch, the kids if you went out of an evening or to somebody older, during the day because you took them someplace. They
yeah,
didn't have daycare and stuff. No, they didn't have it.
yeah. Well, in fact, the few daycare centers that did exist, the parents were like, "Oh man," right? I think the
Mm-hmm.
only way they could do it without feeling totally guilty was if they were like if one of them got transferred into a whole strange city, you know,
Right.
and they didn't have any relatives anywhere because otherwise it was the relatives, it was your mother's job.
Plus, the expense of it. I don't know if a lot of people in the 80s could afford daycare actually, based on what our,
Yeah,
income was. Yeah.
exactly. Nowadays they have all those programs and whatever, but back
Yeah.
then they didn't have programs.
Nope. They didn't have anything like that.
And they actually thought women should stay at home with their kids.
Right.
That was a thing.
I know. Yeah.
If
Women
you
weren't
wanted
supposed
to
to get
work,
out and work. Yeah.
right, if you wanted to work outside the home, you damn well better have a good career. Otherwise, people would be giving you the side eye, going,
Oh,
"Huh?"
yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember even when I was growing up, the grocery stores weren't open on Sunday and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
things have changed drastically. You couldn't
yep.
buy liquor of any kind at all.
You couldn't hang
And
your laundry out on Sunday, or your neighbors would make
no,
a connection.
yeah, they would have given you that was a day of rest. People just went to
Yeah,
church, had dinner with their family, relaxed, took naps, and spent time together. That's what you did, or went on
yeah,
outings and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Went for the
Hmm.
Sunday drive.
Yes. Oh,
Took
I
the
went for a
kids,
lot of them. Yeah.
took the kids to the grandparents.
Yeah, and then the grandparents would take you on a tour where everybody lived and who all not living there anymore, and telling
Yeah,
your mom, well, this one's not here anymore, that one's there. Yeah,
and the seat belts were a joke. Like, oh, my kids did just fine without seat belts. I don't know why you have to put seat belts on those babies.
hmm yeah.
Remember
Remember
when
all
you
the
used to
kids that would just load up in the back of a pickup and they'd get out and
Yep,
ride in the back of the pickup. But people didn't drive crazy like they do now either.
right.
The speed limits were a lot slower. People were just more considerate of each other,
I
and
think
you could.
people they actually knew how to drive,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
another thing, if you broke down the side of the road, people wouldn't be afraid to offer to help you, and you wouldn't be afraid to let somebody help you. Now,
Right,
that's iffy.
exactly. So we have an issue.
Yeah,
We have an issue, and we're like, I'm surprised, quite frankly. I'm very surprised because
I'm
in the
shocked.
in the chat, she was fine.
Hmm.
She was totally fine in the chat. She would have watched and seen that I was blocking a whole lot of people who were cutting her down.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I was blocking them one right after another.
Yeah.
The whole thing of that lady getting up there
Hmm.
and saying the stuff that she said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with me putting a stop to that noise. Nothing wrong with that. And she obviously didn't think so either because she was fine in the chat for quite a while afterwards.
Right. Well, I researched that some. You know how I do, and actually, it's illegal for you to obtain any videos of people boarding boarding passes, airport footage, unless you have a court order, because that leaves
Exactly.
you liable. It leaves you liable for that, for the airport to sue you, for the individual to sue you, and for the government to sue you. Things have changed when all this stuff went on with terrorists and hijackings and stuff. There, you just don't go in and ask for, just, even, I don't care if you work there, I don't care who you are, I don't care what connection you
Well,
have. You're not
her
supposed to do
entire
that.
her entire presentation was that she didn't have any information. She didn't
Hmm.
say it that way, but the status check there is she didn't have any information, but she supposedly had relatives who worked for an airline that she
Hmm.
said she would be able to try to get that information from them. I'm
Right.
sorry, but if a relative called me up and said, "Hey, you work for that airline. I'm, on YouTube and I like to discuss this particular case. So would you mind losing your job over trying to get your hands on some of that video?"
Yeah, and it was a murder case on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that anybody would get up on this panel
Yeah.
and make such a suggestion. And then she said it again and again.
Hmm.
And,
And
the
since she's deceased, what could the family do to, on behalf of her? I don't know. I mean, you get into some. I'm talking about as the person, because she was going to try to get the footage showing her and the boarding pass, and that was SW and what time and stuff. I mean, yeah, she's gone, but that doesn't mean that they can't get and say, why are you releasing? Who are you to release this information?
well,
To somebody. Yeah,
she would have had to have expected her relative to
yeah.
break the law,
Laws. Yes, exactly.
And then she thinks it's a good idea to get up here on this panel and to sit there and act like I would even want to see any of that crap.
Hmm.
Have I ever sat here going, "Oh wow, I wonder if anyone who works at the airline might want to steal some of the whatever, break the law, sneak it over to their cousin, and have their cousin hop up on here and announce it to the world that we're all going to be looking at some video that she hasn't even
Hmm.
seen." I mean, what? This
Why
whole
didn't
thing.
why didn't she offer to do this a few months ago, a few years ago, or when she was
Why would
on
she even
another
offer?
creator's channel?
Why would
Why
she even
didn't she
offer?
offer to get it for them? I
I
don't
don't
get it.
even I don't even know her. She got up here
I
one at a
know.
time. I don't
Hmm.
even know her. Why would she even hop up here and do it? And I'll tell you the answer. Because it was all part of the BS.
Hmm.
People think they can hop up on the panel. They think they can say and do whatever they want to say and do. No, you can't. And when I'm sitting here, I'm probably the only channel creator out there who doesn't have a mod. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here blocking comments that were made about Mia. Terrible, terrible comments. I'm sitting here blocking those comments, and I'm not stupid. I'm catching on that the scumbag attackers are definitely, they've got some game going on, right? Because all of a sudden, like you were saying the other day about that one who came in with one name, and
Hmm.
as soon as I blocked that one, then it came in with a name almost identical.
Right.
It's like, I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell I'm going to have someone sitting up on the panel talking about committing crimes. Not going to happen.
Well, it could get your channel shut down too. Just people don't realize that. I mean, you've been attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked. And common sense, I would think, would tell most people, you got to think about what this lady was saying. That isn't even, to me, my alarm started going off right away, because I thought, wow, she's going to ask a relative to get something like that, or, and I just thought, that doesn't make sense.
And she
They,
didn't let it go. She didn't let it go. And I could
no.
tell Mia was engaged with her because Mia had said before how, she'd be interested to see that and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They didn't get it. They
Well,
didn't
that's
get
fine.
it.
The way I feel about that, if Mia personally, if Mia wants that, she can do that over there on her channel, because then that makes her responsible for this lady's actions. But it's not fair to bring it over here on yours.
Exactly right. If Mia feels comfortable having somebody commit a crime and hand her information that she obtained after committing the crime or from committing a crime, that's between her and Mia. But I'm not going to have it on this panel. I'm not going to have it. you know, I
And then to make
am,
a video, do a live about us, I thought, wow, that was pretty bad.
well,
No,
I think what happened because of the high number of really bad comments that were in chat right then,
yeah,
I really think that the people behind that BS, I think they've probably gotten right in Mia's ear and they're saying, "Oh, Mia, did you see that? Oh, you didn't deserve that. Oh, Mia, Mia, Mia." Because Mia was fine in the
yeah,
chat. And she even explained it to the other people in chat. It was the trolls.
yeah.
She even explained it to them. She was totally fine. And then all of a sudden she did a total 180. And I'll tell you the part that has
It
me,
wasn't anything against her. It was that lady kept going on. But in a sense, when Mia saying, well, I'd like to see that and stuff too, other people listen to that and then they take it other places and then it comes back on you, you know. Well, they're over there they're going to have this lady get this footage on SW and her boarding pass and all this information to put it out there.
exactly,
Yeah, it's not good.
exactly. And there's
It's not good.
no way in hell would I ever, and it was so out of whack for her to suggest such a thing.
Right.
There was no way it was going to continue when that started in again, because they were doing it before. When they
Hmm.
started it again, it was like, no, enough of this, done. And then we
Yeah.
carried on with the conversation.
Right.
You said it exactly right. If Mia wants that information, then she should have her friend up there. But I noticed in the video that she made, she didn't
Mhm.
have her friend up there.
Yeah, that girl wasn't even over there, even trying to back her on any of that stuff. Why?
Why didn't she have her right up on the panel immediately and they
Yeah.
could, start talking about boarding passes?
Yeah.
No, it was all about how terrible. I'm sorry, but if you're going to
Gonna
attack,
make you look bad about something else. Oh, you're attacking people because they just suggest. Well, there's legal problems with that. You just can't have that. You can't. There's so much stuff you can't put up there. You've told people there's a lot of things, other things that people have come in here and said, and you said, no, we can't go there. We can't go there. It's going to cause problems. And people need to really think about that stuff.
well, let me
It's,
tell you something else too. I don't care if somebody gets up on this panel and says, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and color my hair purple today." If I decide that I don't want that on the panel, I have a little button I can push and say, "Bye bye." I can do that. Nothing offensive. I don't
mhm.
have to say, "Well, I think purple would be ugly," or anything like that. If somebody wants to talk about committing crimes, they need to do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Period. Period. But I am hurt by some of the words coming out of Mia's mouth.
Oh, I'm devastated. I never thought she'd say that we're passionate dead woman. I was just shocked that those words would come. And that's why people call you old ladies and stuff, huh? Uh,
If she thinks we're
yeah.
bashing a dead woman, then I think she might want to include herself in that little group hug.
Hmm.
But here's the thing. I think this is what happened. I think, remember when Mia was really scared?
Yeah.
She was hearing noises and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to make her scared.
Oh, I do
Like,
too.
I think they were.
They tried
And
to do that to me too. And what did they use in those threats? Stay off the men's channel. Stay off the men's
exactly.
channel. Stay off the men's channel.
And I think what
Yeah.
happened when with that, because she was fine in the chat, so she wouldn't have been absolutely fine in the chat, and then all of a sudden putting out a hateful video. I'm hurt for her that she would be so hateful, that she was so. I think those people who are in her ear, I think
Hmm.
they have really done a number on her.
All
Like, I
right.
don't know. I don't know if she was tired. I don't know if she was in pain or something, but I think they really did a number on her. And
Yeah. Well, this is what they
that's
do. They come in between people. They've been trying to come in between you and me for a long time. And
that anger level and that hatred level. I mean, she threw her tarot cards. Like, she threw them. She was mad. And it's like, really, how did she get mad between talking just fine in the chat
mhm. Yeah,
and then,
Mrs. Ben, we're sure it was Mia, and she did a live the night before on us. So right after this happened, she went and did a 3-hour live. really talking, really, things are kind of going to come back tenfold on us. And didn't know that she can get kicked off that panel and get kicked off that channel or whatever. But nobody can kick her off of hers. I mean, nobody blocked anybody. It's just that the stuff that was going on, there's problems with that. And, Mensa can't have it on her channel. It's gonna get her. And then she was talking about starting to strike people and slander and stuff. I don't want what's wrong with her. I really don't. I've never seen her
Yeah.
act like that.
And
Yeah.
she was so opposite how she was in the chat. She was the opposite. So, did you see that first one? I think her name was Tia.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tia Marie. Tia
yes,
Marie. Yeah.
Tia is the same one who turned Dave into a dipshit. And I don't know if Dave remembers this or not, but Dave actually started off his channel and he was actually friendly and funny, and he had about 4 or 5 of us ladies up there.
Yeah, and you supported him too. Yeah.
I supported him totally. I promoted him. Day after day, I promoted him. He was great. And then all of a sudden, that Tia got in his ear and filled him full of a bunch of bullshit. And he actually, within 2 weeks, he put out a video that Miss Mensa was a bitch. And I'm like, oh, there's that Tia again. She's always right there. She's a little bit behind
and
the
sitting
scenes.
there being persistent with Mia. Where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you live?
Oh yeah, that was spooky.
Yeah, and when people start asking you where you live, and you've never heard them. I never seen her over there on Mia's before either. So I thought, that's really strange. You've got to be careful and watch those people.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that you could tell when she was saying different things, plus her phone was going off. She was getting the texts. We've seen it all before with Mia, back when they were actually, and I mean, Mia's talked about it openly on the panel, that they were actually, steering her and handling her and whatever. And she put a stop to it.
Yeah.
And she got rid of different mods who were pulling crap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think what she's doing now, I think she's just got someone in her ear, Tia, who is sitting there going, oh, I'm so sorry to hear what happened, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Tia has been she pulled the same shit with Dave. Dave actually could have had a really good channel. He doesn't show the trajectory that he's on with his channel. We've seen it long before Dave showed up, and we saw it long before Mia's video that she just put up. It's like, don't let these people get in your ear and try to get you fighting with people, because it's not a good thing.
I wouldn't even gone over there and looked at that live had it not been for people and last night saying, well, she said this, she said that, because I kept saying, well, she was fine. She was fine after that in the chat and stuff. And I was just shocked that she would have felt like that you were personally attacking her. I don't understand that. I mean, I thought she knew both of us better than that, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just shocked. I just am. And maybe people think that at times we are to stand still, and maybe they think, I don't know, maybe it offends some people that we talk too much about abuse in homes and children that end up getting abused. But I'm sorry, but that's just something that, and domestic violence and mental illness, those are just things that need to be discussed. And I'm not going to go out here. Like I said, my hands are clean. I'm not going to go out here and grab somebody's information they're trying to bring here that I know is breaking the law. I know it is. Research it, guys. Just research it.
To allow their bullshit.
And you want the FDA, the feds coming after you on stuff like that? Hell no. Nobody wants them coming after you. That's serious stuff.
The whole idea that anyone would have the audacity to hop up on a panel and to sit there and act like that, like I would even want to, oh, I can email it. No, don't send your crap to me. If you want to break the law, to obtain whatever that you can, come on. Think about that reasonably. Like, how would that conversation go? What, they're at a family reunion and they go, hey, well, you're at it. Do me a favor, you know?
Mhm.
No. You know, I used to have that when I was a police dispatcher. People would be like, oh my gosh, what happened, you know, with the car accident or whatever. Well, we can't talk about stuff like that, you know?
Right.
Or the police were at my neighbor's. What happened? Well, don't ask me because I can't tell you. And,
Mhm.
you know, there is nobody on the planet who could have gotten information out of me because I'm not going to sit there and have my job compromised because some yahoo's nosy, you know?
Yeah.
There's no way any relative is going to go, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let me see if I can hack into some computer here. And, you know, no. So the whole thing is ridiculous to begin with. The basis for this whole thing is obviously,
Mhm.
but the thing I think that's important to really focus on is Mia was absolutely fine in the chat.
Yeah, she was.
And then she did a complete 180 in a very short time frame. So
Mhm.
I think what's happening, I think those people are in her ear like they were
Yeah.
before. We saw it all before. And I thought of something today. Mia got really mad a couple years ago when I don't know who it was. I think it was KK. KK was making bank. Like she had paid subscribers and she would come on and do like an hour here and an hour there. And
Mhm.
she was raking it in. Mia had a meltdown one time and she lost it. And she said she was so angry because she said she was expected to stay on there for hours and she was exhausted. And then that KK gets to get up there and make a lot of money in a short time. And I'm thinking to myself, I thought about that again today. And I remember too when she hit her dog because she was
Mhm.
just so like stressed by all the stuff the way they were treating her, the people telling her what to do. I mean, there's no excuse to ever hit your dog, but I'm saying that was a time frame where she was super stressed. And,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think she'd been in an accident. I think a lot of things, you're
yep,
trying to get help, you can't,
exactly, exactly. And again,
that's
no
your
one
work,
making
and you're trying to get, and everybody wants to fight you and make your life miserable.
right.
Um,
So it reminded me of how she was in that video because she was fine,
I
absolutely
thought she
fine.
was, and then that same lady that caused all this drama, she's in here last night trying to start it again. I don't
Yep.
understand things like that.
Well, and the irony of it all is that while I'm sitting there blocking a whole bunch of people that were saying terrible things about Mia,
Oh,
just
I
terrible.
know. The night before that too. I mean, they
Yeah.
were, oh,
So
talking
that whole
bad
time
crap about her. Yeah.
I'm sitting there blocking, 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 but and it's not that easy to sit here and read comments, talk, try to keep track of stuff people saying, kick this person out, kick that person out, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
you know. But I'm so the irony is just screaming that she was fine. I'm sitting here blocking people to protect her because they were saying such
Mhm.
mean things. I didn't want her to see them, and then she's then making a video absolutely mad. And
I
I,
know.
what I see it as is I think that those people who are in her ear, Tia especially, because I mean, I saw Tia do that same thing with Dave. Dave was, if Dave would have stayed with how he was doing his channel for the
Mhm.
first week or whatever before Tia got a hold of him,
Yeah.
if Dave had stayed with how he did his channel, he would have a really good channel right now that would be worth watching. He
Mhm.
was doing a good job, and then he bought into the bullshit, and I don't know, you know, probably wanted a Star Trek chair, I don't know,
Mhm.
and I think that that's what's happening, and I feel really bad for Mia because Mia has a lot of really good, like her insights and her medical training, and she's an asset to this discussion.
Right.
But I'm sorry if she's going to be throwing tarot cards and cutting me down for being a Christian. Uh,
Yeah.
that's a serious little problem there that I think it would be really nice if Mia maybe would have just emailed and had a discussion
Yeah.
instead of, you know, I think they've got a hold of her. I do.
Well, there's something going on because I I I just never expected this. I mean, I've talked to her a lot, been on her panel a lot, and I really thought that she knew that if anything like that happened with everything that's happened to you, that she would understand. You know, it wasn't directed uh, necessarily at her, but yeah, she was saying she'd like to see that. But I don't think she was understanding the legality of what that lady could have caused, and it's serious, you know. And she needs to really, I mean, if they want to do that someplace else, that's fine, but you can't jeopardize your channel. You've been, they've caused you enough trouble on here and taking, striking you and causing you stuff, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, it just is.
Well, and like I said too, if you got up here and said that you're going to dye your hair purple, and if I just whatever for whatever reason thought I don't want to hear this, and I click, that's what that's what people do.
Mhm.
Like it isn't even about whatever. I mean, it is about that. That's why I did it, but I don't have to have a why. I
Mhm.
can sit here and arbitrarily boot people and have fun muting
Yeah,
people.
you can. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people have been kicked off for just voicing, just saying, "I disagree," and next thing you know, they're blocked. I've seen that
Let me
happen.
tell you something else. That is this. I've had scumbag attackers literally say on their channel, well, if Miss Mensa wants to come up here, that'd be fine. I'd like to discuss this with her. Da, 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 da. And then I'll go ahead and click on the link and I'll be sitting backstage. And I've had literally these scumbag attackers. I won't even say, I know one comes to mind right now that I think he was one of the worst. He seems to be on better footing now, but um, he would say, well, Miss Spencer, if you want to come up. And I'd go up there and he would leave me backstage when he'd sit there and literally say this. Well, I don't know why she doesn't want to come up here. I invited her to come up here,
Mhm.
And so then I would type in chat, I'm backstage.
Yeah,
Like I sat backstage for 10 minutes, let me up.
and
And
actually,
then,
some people in the chat are asking. I'm sorry, but I have to tell about the situation with her dog. That was when she was having a lot of issues with, I think, a lot of pain and things like that. And she did, do something. And she apologized to people for that. She wasn't feeling good, and she just got short. The dog, her dog does bark and carry on a lot. It's an older dog, and sometimes it can, be frustrating. And she did apologize for it. But I don't know. I was just so shocked about this. I'm just devastated. I'm telling you, man.
well, and the thing is, like part of the reason why I started using initials instead of
Mhm.
names is because it isn't about the people, it's about the issues at hand, right?
Right.
The Mia that we know and love should have been discussing the issue of whether or not she thought it was okay to talk about conducting illegal activity. You know,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
she takes it to the point of the she took it to the level that the scumbag attackers take it, and that tells me that she has the scumbag attackers telling her what to say. And so when I saw the name Tia, it was like, well, there you have it. Dave would not be a dipshit if it wasn't for Tia.
Yeah.
So I guess it is what it is. I mean, I think that Mia would do well to stop letting people handle her, you
Maybe
know.
you want to address Collie Wobbles. She said, but Mia is a friend of your channel, MM. You could have handled that situation better. Yes, kick of the other lady, but Mia was confused.
However,
Um,
Mia was not confused, and that's something that's an important point here. Mia was not confused at all. She was chatting in the chat just fine. She was explaining to other people what happened. She was fine. It wasn't until the scumbag attackers got into her ear and got her all riled up that she went and did that video. So Mia
And
was
I'm not
simply,
excusing her hitting the dog. I'm not excusing it. I'm just telling y'all what I think was behind that, because I think she really does care about her dog. I don't go for that. I never hit mine. Mine just got caught on the bedspread that night. I almost freaked out. I had to get off here. That's just the way I am, because they're like my babies. So it can be serious, but I just don't. This is just this. I'm telling you guys. You got to think about these things. And this lady had only been over here on our channel a couple of times, brought all this in here. And she kept saying, you know, she's a supporter of another creator and all that. She was telling all about her lupus that night. Now, she didn't believe SW had it, and about all the stuff she did to her kids and stuff. And then all at once, she's going to turn it. She was in here last night calling us old ladies and stuff. Yeah, I mean, and still didn't block her, you know? So I just don't understand it. I just don't. I just don't. It's just terrible. I don't know.
So yeah, I think that the important point is that she was fine. And I didn't have a clue she was going to go react like that. But again,
I didn't know what they were talking about last night. I thought, wow, you
yeah,
know.
but I think that, if you've got Tia in the chat starting off saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you," then there you have it right there. Mia, and her phone was going off, her texts were going off. That was what happened back when she hit her dog. She had that pressure, she had that stress. They were in her ear. I don't know if they offered to pay her. I don't know if they just get her riled up. I don't know how they do what they do exactly with Mia, but I do know that Mia is an asset to the discussion and she's interesting. And one thing I like about Mia's part of the discussion is that she's all about like the discovery and stuff. And, the details of whatever the call logs and everything. That's the total opposite of me. I don't care about a partial discovery. And I mean, it's there and it's interesting, but that's not my interest in discussing true crime cases. I like to take a look at the issues, the dynamics. All you have to do is look at little Bella Watt's eyes in those videos, the look of fear in her eyes. That's what I'm discussing. And I feel really bad for Mia that the scumbag attackers have conned her into saying such terrible things because in myself, even apart from all this, Star Mama, you have been so supportive of Mia. Like, you have been absolutely supportive of her. When you have time up on her panel, you've put hours and hours and hours in up on Mia's panel. And when you're there, that discussion gets really interesting. The two of you, when you're up there, the chatters love it. You guys, dig into all the autopsy crap.
Yeah.
and the phones and stuff like
Well,
that.
I enjoy her knowledge and stuff on that stuff too,
Yeah, exactly. And so for her to be doing that, calling us whatever she called us, I mean, she's doing what they're telling her to do, and that's really sad.
Yeah. It's time to move on. It's time to move on from the abuse of kids and that stuff. Really? I mean, what is there to move on? We don't have anything that's out there. I mean, the case is closed until they decide to do something different or somebody starts talking. This case is going to stay closed no matter how many years people talk about it. It just is. You really think that the law is going to reopen a case based on a bunch of YouTuber stuff? No. The person that pled guilty to this stuff and pled out, I mean, he did it. He shut the case down. That was the end of it. And he's the one that's going to have to change it and want to change it. It's up to him. And I don't think personally he wants to for some reason. Very disrespectful to his daughters, I think.
I think that he is really making a mistake to not be, well, who knows? Because, we were talking about that another time.
Yeah.
He's hiding something.
Now there's something he's hiding that he doesn't want. Yeah. Something he was involved in that he doesn't want out there. I have some ideas, but they're just ideas, and I don't do that. If I don't have something to back it, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to do it anymore because these people carry stuff in a whole different direction. They just do, and they try to cause a lot of confusion, just like this stuff with the interview that the creator did with CW's dad. Well, why not show the Why not show that conversation between just him and his dad also? Why is that not that important? Because is they're trying to go back at AD what he had, because that's the part he did. He did the part where it was just his dad and him talking. So when the CBI detectives were in there, yeah, it might be different wording and stuff. I don't know. But I know there were some things that was very plainly said. I don't agree with everything that AD put out either. But I'm just saying it looks strange that you would only consider part of an interview important and the other part not. You know, it just does.
Right. Well, I think that was the part I thought was really interesting was when he said they helped me downstairs, and when he said
Yes.
that she got up or she got off or whatever and told her mom.
She didn't say she called her mom. She said she got up and told her mom. So,
And told
like
her
I
mom.
said, I'm sorry. I think mom was possibly there, you know. And
I
why
think it
didn't
was really
mom come
interesting.
back? Why didn't we see her, come back? Why did the family not come back till the next month? That just doesn't make sense. There
Well,
wouldn't
I wonder.
anything, stop me from getting on a plane, driving. I don't care if I didn't have the money. I'd hitchhike. I'd find some way. I'd pawn something to get the money to get to my daughter and where my grandkids are missing. Believe me, I would.
There, I put the banner up.
Okay.
I'm just being cute. Um, that when because of that, get up and told her mom. Yeah, AD kept saying, "Well, she phoned her mom. She called her mom. She phoned her mom." That's not what it said. It said she told her mom, right?
Mhm.
Unless I don't know if someone's manipulating audio or something. I don't know because I know
Yeah.
they can all manipulate whatever. But
Yeah.
if he said she told her mom, and there weren't any calls, right? There weren't any records of any calls as far as anyone knows. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I'm thinking, think about how they were saying how she was in such bad shape that weekend
Mhm.
in Arizona.
Oh yeah. I mean, her own friends or whoever they were, or MLMers, whoever. I mean, saying you wouldn't want her in the house if you wouldn't want her there if you knew the shape she was in. And I keep going to back to what her dad said. Those words that kind of concerns me. How would
When he
he
said,
know that?
when
No,
he said she came home and she looked at the receipt and then she
pulled him
confronted
up,
him.
yes, and confronted
Yeah.
him.
So how would he
How
know
would you
any of
know
that?
that you hadn't talked to her? Which he said he hadn't, and how would he know that precisely?
Well, and then he said that other people were telling him that, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, sometimes
And
you
then
say a
think
little bit
about
too
Betty.
much and let the cat out of the bag, right?
And think about Betty seeing the vehicles there.
Mm,
She said that gray truck was there until noon.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean the whole thing is just it's interesting. And that's the thing. Like, but back to this whole thing with Mia, people are saying, well, you should reach out to her and stuff. I want you guys to think about something, okay? I want you to think about something. I did what I had every right and every reason to do. There was somebody up on the panel who was talking about committing crimes, okay? I put a stop to it, all right? No big deal. No big deal. I put a stop to it. Mia was absolutely fine in the chat. She was fine. No problem. And
Mhm.
I was spending a hell of a lot of time blocking scumbag attackers who were absolutely saying the most terrible things about Mia.
Mhm.
If Mia wants to take from all of that and go make a video that is total shit, and I don't think that's Mia. I think that's the people like Tia who are saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's Mia." I
Yeah.
think that she has those
Getting her
people.
riled up. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, getting her upset. And then the idea that I'm going to be reaching out to her, what? Somebody owes us an apology here because we're not just a bunch of old
No.
ladies like we were accused of being.
Yeah.
We are not bashing a dead woman like we were accused of. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, we are Christians and we don't really appreciate people who like to throw tarot cards around, you know, cutting down our religion. We really don't appreciate that. So, I think Mia has absolute support here, absolute support. And unfortunately, I think the scumbag attackers have gotten in her ear for however they do it. I don't know what they promise her or how they do it. But I really hope that Mia listens to the video that she put up.
Is this really Dave that's in the chat? I don't
I
think
doubt
so.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
doubt it.
I've
Yeah.
never seen him talk like that, say one statement and say goodbye. Yeah. Nice try though, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
I'm
I
not.
saw that and I just glossed over it. Um,
Yeah.
no, I think that at this point, like, there's always going to be an open door here for Mia. There's not an open door here for Mia with the scumbag attackers in her ear, and I would really seriously just encourage Mia, if you're listening to this, Mia, watch out for Tia, because Tia turned Dave into a dipshit. In like a matter of days, she turned Dave into a dipshit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so shocked about this. It's really hard to understand something like when you thought you had a pretty good relationship with someone, built on trust. And, I really thought, and I was supportive of her, and I really thought that she
You
knew
were.
me, knew me better. I don't know.
I think you were on her. I think you were on her channel. I don't even know how many times you went up there.
Yeah, I was trying to help her and stuff and be there and be supportive. That's what you do with friends. And here lately, I've had a lot of stuff going on here. You know, um, there's some medical issues with the family member, and I was sick there for a while, and I was adjusting to new medications and stuff. And I hadn't even been doing any videos, on my cooking channel. So I
Okay,
hadn't been real active any place. I even missed a couple of yours. I
okay,
mean,
wait, Star
yeah,
Mama. We're supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to always be
yeah. Well, I'm not.
on our best little moods and our best little
Mhm.
smiles, and we're supposed to trust everybody, I guess, even though we've been getting attacked by a bunch of psychos. We're supposed to just trust everyone, and I guess we're supposed to not be old too. That's a
Yeah.
problem.
Well, I'm not offended at being old. I've had a good life. I've
Oh, I
learned a
know.
lot. I've learned a
I'm
lot.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just saying,
I know you are. I
this
know.
is just so ridiculous. And I
Mhm.
again, Mia always is welcome here. The Mia that is actually nice and the Mia that actually wants to discuss the case is always welcome here. And
Mhm.
I was actually encouraging Mia for a long time when she was being handled by those morons. I would go into her chat. The discussion would be great for 5 minutes. And then they'd be texting her. All of a sudden, I mean, they were definitely handling her. It was obvious.
Mhm.
And I used to say to her, you know what? Take control of your own channel. Don't let them tell you what to say, Mia, because you have a lot of good things to say. So that's the Mia who is welcome here, is the Mia who is actually not being handled by a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
Because that thing that happened, she was fine in the chat, and I was sitting here blocking a whole bunch of people who were saying some really
Oh
nasty.
yeah, they were horribly attacking her. That was awful. I mean, it was
And
terrible.
that tells you right there, they were in the chat trying to get stuff
Mhm.
going. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it was bad.
yeah, it
And
was.
I don't have moderators. I don't have a bunch of scumbag attackers trying to line up to be my
Mhm.
moderators so that they can block the wrong people. I'm sitting here trying to make sure that Mia's not getting all those cut downs going. I didn't want her to see that crap. And
Right.
and
Me
it's not.
neither. It was horrible stuff. It was
And
terrible.
the chat was going really fast too because there were a bunch of people. That's what they do. They flood the comments, they pull the distraction, whatever. And it isn't that easy even for me to block one of those, because when I click on the thing, when the chat moves, then I'm always afraid I'm going to click on and block the wrong person and stuff. So, plus I'm talking the whole time. I mean, come on,
I know. And I for a long time didn't know how to follow the chat and even listen. So I do try to follow it because I don't want people getting attacked in here and feeling like that because we don't have mods that we can't watch for that. That's the reason I do it. And especially when you're up there, it's just like I've told people in my cooking channel, I cannot cook and talk to people in the chat. I can't do it. It's just too much of a distraction, and I'm trying to simplify things for people and walk people through things. And I enjoy doing that. I love, helping people to cook. I love cooking, but I can't, I have to go over there later and I try to acknowledge people. And even over there at the end, I always talk about children that are missing, children that have been abused. I always try to put that stuff out there at the end, always. And, it's just, there's just sometimes you can't watch everything that's going on. You just can't,
Oh, I like this. I like this. Watch this, or take a look at this, Star Mama.
Okay.
She says, as my spiritual advisor always says in situations like this, quote, that's her shit. So don't let it steal one more second of your serenity. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good one. Good one. But I do want to be clear though that the door is open for Mia. The door is not open to engage in any kind of scumbag attack or back and forth bullshit. Because and I really hope for Mia's sake that she is able to recognize it like she recognized it before, and that she puts a stop to it, because she was putting out some really good discussions,
Yeah.
But to me, the way she was in that video, it just reminded me of back when she hit Teddy.
I know. I don't know what was wrong with her that night. I mean, I seen somebody that I didn't recognize. I really did.
Yeah, she totally did a 180, an absolute 180, and that's really sad.
And I was just I had to go back and listen again to make sure that I even what I was hearing, because I thought, my God, where's this coming from? I don't know.
Well, it's coming from Tia. That's where, because Tia's right there. Oh, Mia. Oh, I'm so sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Have you ever, no way.
And if you kind of watch to where some of these people come from, they said they come from over at a certain creator's channel, so you got to kind of think, yeah, why, are we really on to some stuff they just don't want out there? They don't want us discussing the moving day. I know they don't want that going on.
I think too that they really don't like you, me, and Mia up on the panel.
Oh no.
Because Mia knows the discovery. You take no shit and you can remember everything and you put pieces together exactly right. And I just keep on talking and I keep on fighting for our right to talk, So it's, you know what I'm saying? And I keep on bringing us back to the point of going bullshit,
Yeah.
So,
but I did, like I said, I learned a lot from her, and I wanted her to come over and tell people on this channel things, because there's a lot of things I didn't know. It's just like about SW not having any blood volume. I mean, those are things, I didn't know. I didn't know that stuff. And it does shed light on it. It makes you wonder what happened,
Right.
It really does.
So, I think, to answer the question, I think the scumbag attackers seriously are like on a little mission to try to get the three of us.
I do too. Because they've been on a mission for a long time to come between you and me. So nothing surprises me. It just doesn't.
Exactly. And I think they really don't like it to have the three of us up. And then, if Honey Badger hops up, then they're totally screwed. And then that Kelly,
that night when we were all four up there. Yeah. Oh my God, they didn't like that at all.
They didn't like that at all. They didn't like that at all. So I do think that Mia will probably take a good walk, maybe do some fall cleanup in her yard or whatever, and get some fresh air and maybe have a chance to think about how the whole thing went.
Yeah. Well, if people keep saying, why don't we reach out to her? Why don't we reach out to her?
I'm not
Well,
reaching out to her. I'm reaching out to her right now. Mia,
I
if you're
don't want to,
listening,
I'm not going to bother her right now with the state of mind that she was in because I don't think it would accomplish anything. You know, she knows she can get a hold of me. So, and she, if she's, and I know, I'm sure she'll listen to this. It was nothing. I mean, I was just shocked. I don't know. I don't know where the trust issue went and stuff. It's really, I don't know. I was hurt by that. I really was.
well, and the whole insult thing, she has sat up on our panel as
Yeah.
we're talking about how Dave talks so bad about
Yeah,
women.
defending us and defending women and stuff, and then just go the total. I don't know
Yeah,
what was wrong. I'm telling you, I think people were coming down hard at her, and she, I don't know. I think it was just more what she can handle,
I wonder
and
if
she
they're
just lashed
scaring,
out.
I wonder if they're trying to scare her or threaten her or something.
I don't know. You know, no, I just think anytime people think somebody's in their yard or they're feeling uneasy, I think you need to call the police and get it documented. And I just do. I don't think you need to be live scared like that.
Well,
But
I
I know
think
how these idiots do too. They try to make you think that they're gonna scare you, and they try to make you think anytime you're talking about anything they don't like, that's where they go. They start wanting to scare people. I've seen it over and over again. I've seen people leave YouTube because of being scared.
right, right. So then they see the three of us up on panel, and then they go, "Oh shit, there they go again."
Hmm.
And I don't know if she realizes it or not, but she was getting called a witch too. She was getting called an old
Hmm.
lady. She
Yeah.
was they were saying about her that she was cackling and all that. So it's kind of interesting that they now have her saying that about us. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
I don't. Like I said, I'm just shocked. I'm just. My mind is blown right now. I mean, yeah. Just I don't want to think. I just
Brooke
don't.
says that she thinks she knows what's going on, but she can't put it in chat.
Mm. I wish you'd get a hold of us and talk to us or something about it, or let us know what's going on. Because I've told her I'd be there for her, and I thought she realized that. And uh, and I've told her before that there's just a lot of places that won't go because of the things that she's had done to her, the strikes she's had her channel down, had people come for her on all different levels, her family and stuff. And I let her know that a long time ago. There's places, um, and I let her know what was done to me and stuff. I mean, these people will stop at nothing to cause drama. And if they got people up here that are trying to make sense of things and got people thinking in the direction they should be, they don't like that. They really don't like it. It's there's some things they do not want us talking about. And when we put
Well,
it out there, because it makes sense, it does. This stuff just makes sense. I listen to people's words, and I always tell people to put common sense with those words. And what you see in videos and what you hear and what you read in, the discovery, as much as I'm sure there's things missing, a lot of people don't realize. And if you go back and try to base anything on that Netflix thing that came out 2 years ago, you're lost because that was nothing. That was totally so misleading to people. It was disgusting. It really was. Um, oh my God. Is this real? I wish you'd address, see if that is um, Dave talking that way. I don't like it. Now he's attacking Mia, so if it's him, he shouldn't be doing. I don't think it's him, but mm, see what's going on. Or did we lose you, ma'am? I can't hear you.
oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but I wish you to see if that is actually.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I
Okay.
just put the link in. Dave, if
Mhm.
that's actually you, hop up here and let's have a chat, Bubba.
I mean, saying that we hate the truth. I don't hate the truth. And
No,
calling Mia names and stuff,
no,
really?
no.
Gee,
If he wants to come up, he can come up.
yeah. Mm, mm,
And keep in mind, I just pointed out that Tia turned Dave into a dipshit, and Tia's over there in Mia's ear.
yeah.
And so, sure enough, then all of a sudden we have a profile here, right?
Well, if it's him, he'll come up. That's what I think.
Yeah, if it's Dave, he'll come up. If Dave doesn't come up, it's not Dave.
I mean, it's just that's exactly the kind of stuff that happens, guys. That's what I'm telling you. In this
Yeah,
stuff
and
4 years, it's not
right.
changed a bit.
Well, and I feel really bad for Mia right now because I do think
I do
that
too.
they definitely upset her. They definitely got her angry. And I mean, for her to throw her tarot cards, like she was upset, and that's too
Yeah,
bad.
that's that doesn't seem normal to me. Uh, she didn't act normal at all. She just didn't. Hmm.
Yeah, I think so, Cher. I think it's possible. I think the scumbag attackers really didn't want Mia talking.
Oh, I don't think so either, because they've been trying to scare her for quite a while. I mean,
Well,
thinking
they
somebody's in her
used to have
yard and then
control. They
talking
used to
about
have
her.
total control over her channel.
Hmm. It's
And I
sad.
think that when she was starting to open up more and starting to, really
Hmm.
look at other angles and stuff, then I think they kind of lost control. And I think they're trying their dangest to get control back of her.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
she's a lot more relaxed and stuff when she was here talking. And, then she got really stressed again. It's like, no, no.
I know. I just don't. Somebody said something. Got a hold of them.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. Huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Somebody I said got a hold of her and pushed her. You gonna let them talk about you? You gonna let her throw you off the family? Because she said that to get kicked off of there. She said I don't have to worry about that over here. But I wish she would think about what was being said. You had I mean, yeah, wish she'd think about that because it was just that
Oh,
lady was.
I'm reading the email right now.
Oh, an email? Okay. Uh-huh. Mm.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for that email. That's
Oh.
what it is. But it's also the Tia because that Tia is right in the middle of all that kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
She stays in the background, of course, but yeah. I mean, and seriously, those of you who like watching Dave, he could be much better if not for Tia. Okay, Star Mama, I'm gonna send you in a private chat.
Okay.
This is what the email was talking about.
Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah. I figured.
Uh-huh.
I told you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the hard part because I think that she may not realize that
I
that
thought
part of
she
it.
did, but I guess not. I really thought that she
Well, and the stuff that she was
understood.
saying, the stuff she was saying didn't even come from her own thoughts. I mean, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, an imaginary CPS case. What? Really? Because that doesn't fit with all the conversations we've had.
No, it doesn't.
All of it fits with what the scumbag attackers are saying. Oh yeah, she's just paranoid. Yeah, I'm paranoid already. I'm
Yeah.
so paranoid that I let everybody and their brother up on the panel. I'm so paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
she doesn't trust
Well,
anyone. Guess what, people? I trust everybody. That's the whole problem. I need to
Yeah,
stop
that is.
trusting
Yeah.
everybody. I keep on trusting people, and then they can be a total asshole. And if they go, "Oh, I'm sorry," then I trust them again. That's the problem. I got to stop trusting so many people.
Yeah. Well, I tried to tell her, don't be surprised if they don't start stirring crap up and try to come between all of us, because I said that's what they do. They don't like us three together at all. And I figured something like this would happen, but I never figured that what happened would happen that way. I just didn't fear it at all. I just did, you know. Mm.
I don't get what critical thinking is saying. I didn't think you were confused. I was on panel, and when I watched replay, I saw your comments. I couldn't see them while I was on the panel. Um, are you the one who hopped up and said you felt really sad about it all? Because I'm not remembering that name.
Yeah, because the one that lady got up here last night when we said that and stuff, she also said that she come into this when Netflix come out. So sorry, you come in when Netflix come out. You don't know a lot of the things about it. You just
Well,
don't. Sorry.
that is a really good point, because there's a lot that went on before Netflix, and Netflix is not at all. Oh, okay. So were you the? Oh, I just saw this message. Hold on. So were you the one who hopped up on panel with your two little girls? Oh, okay. I know you by another name. Okay. So I'm not sure about the whole confused or whatever comments,
I
but
don't understand that either. Well, maybe I misunderstood. I don't know.
here's something else though. Those comments that I had to block, like if someone's sitting there looking back through them, they're not going to see those comments because I deleted a bunch of comments. And so while all that's going down, they're flooding the comment threads. You know what I
She
mean?
said she was on a few days ago by herself. Must have been when I was sick. So you're gonna have to think back to who you had there.
Yeah, we're not going to guess who you are out loud, but yeah, I know who you are. Hold on, Star Mama.
Okay.
Um, okay, there you go.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. Okay, yeah, we won't say. Got it.
Okay.
Cher says, "Go away, please." Who? Who do you want to go away? Yes, exactly, Brooke. I agree. I agree. And
Yeah.
did you notice when her phone went off and then she said, "Oh, that's a personal call," blah 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 blah. Like back when she hit Teddy, when she was
Yeah.
so stressed during that time frame, her phone would do that, and then she
Yeah.
would stress. And I mean, it's so obvious. It's like I feel scared for Mia, because I think, and I don't mean she should feel scared, because I think she's just dealing with a bunch of psychos. But well, of course, psychos are psycho. But
Uh-huh.
I think that she actually is engaging with people who do not have her best interests at heart at all.
Well, just think too, I haven't been doing much on YouTube, and I haven't been over there. And I noticed she hadn't been doing very many lives either. And just wonder if they thought, well, that was a chance to come at her, thinking I wasn't supportive of her anymore or what. I mean, I don't know. It just seems this is just wild to me. I just never thought this would happen. I really didn't. So
Jackie,
it's
you play the piano. Jackie, you need to start playing the piano. She's a percussionist at heart.
no.
But yeah, it is. I agree, Star Mama. It is. It's like, it's really sad. I feel bad for Mia.
I do.
I was hoping for her sake that she was really going to be able to have an independent channel.
Yeah.
But
It's just,
I mean, if you don't want us to think that the scumbag attackers are totally in control of that shit, then you probably don't want to recite every single one of their checklists, you know?
yeah.
That part kind of was a little bit obvious.
Yeah. Like I said, to go back and listen twice because I just couldn't believe that she used those same words that's been used by others, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really did not seem like the
It was
me
a
I
whole
knew.
different person.
Yeah,
She,
I
she
know
was
it.
an entirely different person. That's why I say I feel worried for her because they either have
Hmm.
something on her or they have convinced her to be upset, and that's just not okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
It is really unfortunate because I think she had a lot of good insights and everything with her whole discovery stuff. You know, I love it
Oh,
though how people always be like, "I'm only talking about the facts." It's like, well, I have a question because wait, now aren't these people supposedly talking about the facts?
hmm.
And then they do a whole bunch of opinion, you know?
Oh, Brooke said email him.
Oh, okay,
Again.
okay.
I don't know it. Shut the F up, Donnie. I don't know if anyone ever found out what her mom wanted out of the bag. I don't know.
Good information. Good information.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. So yeah, yeah. And here's the thing: some of the scumbag attackers actually can spell. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna send you the private chat, sorry, Mama.
Okay.
There, it's
Mhm.
there.
Okay.
But
All
yeah,
right.
some of these scumbag attackers actually don't come across like you know, like a
That's true.
guacamole or
That's
something.
true what she told you.
And
That's true. That's true.
you knew that too?
I knew
I didn't
that.
know
Yes, I
that.
did. Yeah, I did. I knew it. But I thought there was
Wow.
something different. I thought that was not going on, that uh, people were suspicious of that going on again. So, yeah.
Yeah, Nuck and Futz, good observation. I've seen the same thing. Um, I'm not all that good on names all the time, but we
Uh-huh.
do have a few people who are really good with names and kind of, you nailed it. You nailed it. I was surprised within the first 3 minutes, as soon as I hit the live button, kaboom, there were three of them. Well, maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was when Michael Jackson was singing "We Are the World." That I at that point I counted three of them so far who have been bashing us on other channels, but they're right
Talking,
here.
talking all
Yeah,
kinds of
but they're
bippy.
right here talking all nice and sweet, and it's kind of like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, we're stupid. Hello.
That's going to be my line from now on. Stick it in your bippy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A friend of mine looked. We were talking about doing the sweatshirt thing, Star Mama.
Hmm.
Last night they were saying let's do merch or whatever, and it was $48 for a sweatshirt. Like,
Hmm.
you know, that's just too much. That's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, that is my opinion, Brooks, that that's what was in that bag was a key. I really think so. Because even I noticed even NA was searching in that purse and like she was looking for something, and I still think it was a key. I really do think it was a key. And whatever it was a key to is where that money went, that nobody knows what happened to that $10,000.
You mean like a
Yeah.
key to a safety deposit box or something?
Yeah. Yeah. I told you that before. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. And that would go in a makeup bag, unnoticed, right?
Well,
Or Y or NA had already checked the purse and didn't see it. So when they mailed the makeup bag and they said, "Oh, we didn't look in it," really, y'all want to really believe that your mom's not going to look in your makeup bag when you get it? No.
I call that the traveling makeup bag.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mrs. Bendover, you gotta delete that. Sorry, babe. Sorry, not sorry. You gotta delete it. Delete it. Delete it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The office was destroyed compared to the rest of the house. Somebody was looking for something. You're right.
Do
Hmm.
you think that it may have been Christopher Watts going through
Well,
like
I think he got some notices or he got some calls or something, and I don't think he was aware of possibly other things that was going on. I think she was using credit cards in other people's names too. I think she acquired credit cards maybe in the girls' names and stuff. I think there was a lot of stuff going on that um and maybe fact that I'm not sure. There's something I don't know. Maybe he was looking for medications or something in it too. See, there was something I think was a paper. Maybe he was looking for a key. Maybe he was looking for a key. You know?
take a look. I always thought shrimp cocktail. I always thought there were prescription drugs in that bag with
Hmm.
someone else's name on them
Hmm.
that SW probably shouldn't have had.
Well, that's a very strong possibility because she looked and she looked at that and I looked at the medicine bottle now and she said, "Well, her medicine is here." Well, there was only the nausea medicine. Where was all the Emitrex that CW said she took for in that month and she'd been
Well,
taking
but
it all?
she should not have had any medication at all because she had not seen her doctor since 2017,
Yeah, and she
and
hadn't seen an OB. They said they'd never seen her. So yeah, somebody was
they
giving her some stuff.
she should have definitely had she shouldn't have had any prescription for anything if she didn't see her doctor for a year.
Mm.
Hey, Cher.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
let me do that over. Let me do that over. Hey, Cher.
Hey,
Good.
Miss Mensa, what's happening, baby?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry, was that too loud?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I just wanted to quickly say, because I can't see the chat right now. Whoever that person is that keeps trying to taunt me that I had questions about why no one spoke up throughout all the years with the SW stuff and the children's videos. I mean,
Hmm.
she just keeps going on and on, but she didn't start on me in the chat until I spoke up and said that I felt Mia had been targeted by the SBAs.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden they started going after you.
Yes, and that's what's happened to me in the past. Not exactly the past three, but three chats over the past week. And it's not a pity party. I'm a big girl, but it's so obvious.
Right.
Hmm.
Exactly. If you're not following along with their dance, right?
Right.
If you yeah, if you're possibly viewed as a free thinking person with a half a brain, right? Then they're going to go, "Uh-oh, that one's not following the narrative."
Yeah, so if you, I know you're busy, but if you go back and scan over what she or he has been saying to me in the past, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, it's like I'm confused about what my point has been over the
Well,
past week.
I'm searching while you're talking.
Okay.
Um, let me see here. Because
I mean, she
I
keeps
saw that
trying to,
you said something
they're,
like, "What do you mean?" or something.
no, they're conflating that I was confused and, quote, asking questions about why this didn't get reported or anyone didn't speak up in the family. Well, I'm not a dumb A because I grew up with that and I know why they didn't. They just didn't do it. And I'm not judging people, but it's a fact. It just didn't happen. and there were opportunities for it to happen. We know there were opportunities for it to happen in the Watts situation, but it just didn't happen. We can't go back and change it. But fortunately, I lived, and two innocent children died because of it. And
Yes.
this new person is I've not seen in your chat before. I can't see it here, but oh, there it is. Critical thinking is vital. I remember you speaking about your experience, Cher. I was responding to comments you made during the chat when I was on panel. Are you still there?
Yep.
I'm here.
Okay, you blocked me. Have you blocked me?
No, we can hear you. You're not blocked. We can hear you.
Miss
I don't think.
Mensa.
Uh-oh, she can't hear us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, she can't hear us. I want to do something though because let's see.
Tell
Sheriff, you can hear us.
to
We
tell her.
can't hear
Yeah, we
you.
could hear you. Yeah.
So, there we go. But I want to do this. Take a look at shrimp cocktail. I always thought there were prescription drugs in that bag. I want us to stick with this because that, and you were saying you think it might have been a key, right? That, I mean, the whole question of what was it they were searching for,
Mm-hmm.
and the traveling makeup bag, right? Oh, do you still have that makeup bag? Oh, yeah, we do. Did you look inside? Oh, no, of course not. Okay, then we're going to want you to turn that in for evidence. And, you know, since when does a traveling makeup bag get turned in for evidence? Because there's something called chain of custody. And I would dare say that when that traveling makeup bag traveled, it that the chain of custody was broken. Okay, so okay, hold on, let me do this. I gotta do that. Okay, so just to touch on what Cher said really quick, and then we'll go back to this about the what was in the bag. That does happen where if you're not following suit and whatever, it also happens that people who are there to try to stir stuff. Well, I don't know how to describe this. We need Honey Better to describe this for us because the whole idea of controlled opposition and making noise and having all the discussions that are actually authentic discussions on this case being disrupted constantly by the noise. And you
Mm-hmm.
know, look at how long it took us, Star Mama,
Yeah.
to even recognize that they didn't know Cece's name at the non-birthday party.
I know. Well, there's things. It's just like I said. It didn't make sense about. Well, I said, why did she always wear flip flops? Why did she? Why did the girls have the things as the Velcro things on their shoes or boots? Because I don't think she's allowed to have shoestrings. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. I believe
Yeah,
that in all honesty.
it takes us so long to get to that
Yes.
because we're always dealing with, you know,
And why
and
would her shoes be by the front door? She always went out through the garage. They didn't go out through the front door. So why wouldn't she took them off there and put them back by the uh, uh, garage door? I don't understand that. There's some things that you have to watch people's patterns. And she said she always went out through the garage. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
right. But I think it's important to try to kind of encourage all of us in chat and stuff to just take part in the discussion. And if someone is, you know, trying to derail whatever, I guess just like ignore them, you know, just ignore them
Right.
for the most part. I
I
mean, if
had a
they're,
hard time learning to ignore them too, and
yeah,
sometimes if you keep pointing out because they can say all kinds of stuff about me. They were even coming here and saying, "And ma'am, you better watch out for her. You can't trust her," and blah blah blah. Remember all
yep.
that stuff going on, and I finally ignored it. And you know what? It went away. Yeah.
Okay, now
Right.
let's do this. So Shrimp Cocktail says, I always thought there were prescription drugs in that bag, okay?
There
If
could have been.
if she wasn't to the doctor, like I said, she should have had no prescription, because you know how insurance companies work, you know how pills work. I mean, pills have expiration dates. You know, there's a date right on your prescription bottle that is usually like 1 year from the date that it's filled, right?
Hmm.
You're not supposed to take bills. You're not supposed to take pills after the expiration date, because they could seriously be worthless. Pills will do medicine will do one of two things. It's either going to become worthless over time, or it's
Hmm.
going to become where it might not be safe even to take. It could make you really sick. And
Well, mhm, I'll tell you something about prescription drugs and the kind of drugs that we're talking about. Most of the time, you have to go in every month to get any kind of pain medicine because it's become a controlled drug in every state. So, and that's been, I don't know if that was in place back in 2013 or not. It probably wasn't, but I do know now in most states you can't even get pain meds. They limit you to what you get, and then if you do need it longer than that, they only give you a month at a time. So if you're actually
sometimes,
in where you have to be on pain meds, I was, and I have been like that, and I know I had to go in and you have to do drug tests, you have to be monitored, all kinds of stuff. It just they're tough on that stuff anymore. So yeah, you'd be wanting to hide that stuff, especially what if somebody got it illegally for you? No.
okay, so if it was drugs they were looking for,
Mm-hmm.
plus didn't NA tell the police that she was taking her, what do you call it, the medicine for her?
Imatrax for migraines, yeah, and the nausea medicine, but she only had the nausea medicine at first. Imatrax wasn't there.
Okay, she shouldn't have had Imitrex. She shouldn't have had any
Mm-mm,
medication for morning
no.
sickness,
And I
because
want
she
to know what that bottle was in there in the office that was sitting on that bookcase, turned the opposite way, because I've seen it. Nobody wants to go there about that.
but
But you can't, but it's there.
if she didn't go in for an exam in the last year, she
Mhm.
shouldn't have had any medication. And what you're saying about the controlled substance,
Yeah.
whatever,
Hmm.
that whole thing, if she was on something that strong, why would she have been even taking any of it while she's pregnant?
Well, yeah. But I mean, even stuff like Tylenol with codeine in it, you can't even get that anymore without going and seeing a doctor every month. I'm telling you. You just research this stuff, guys. I'm telling you. I don't know. I'm gonna research that and see if that law was in place back in 2013 because I'd have to see what it was in North Carolina and what it was in Colorado because who knows where she got the drugs from.
Well,
But
yeah.
what was
So
in all that container down in the basement? There's all kinds of prescription bottles in that container, and that the police never took that, did they? So that went back to the R's, right? Mhm.
so why did she have any medicine at all if she wasn't seeing the doctor? She
Mhm.
shouldn't have had any. Shrimp
Right.
Cocktail says it was the oxy that CW found and Googled the morning after the murders.
Oh,
So
maybe
he,
that's what was in that bottle that was sitting in there on the bookcase. Then that would make sense.
so he's seeing a bottle and Googling it because he doesn't even know what it is, and yet everyone's like, "Oh, he gave her oxy." Yeah, okay, that's
No,
why
he
he's
didn't.
Googling.
That's why she was
Exactly.
so deathly ill. She complained to her friends about spotting, cramping, having bad headaches, not being able to eat, not drinking anything before he ever got there. So they need to just quit even going there. And besides that, he wasn't in Arizona with her and she's having the same symptoms. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
again, I keep telling people you got to put common sense with this case too and what makes sense and what doesn't.
Right. Gina, I love your picture. That's really pretty. That reminds me of the 1960s. Gina says maybe he found proof of outstanding debt and became furious, talking about the office being a mess.
Mhm.
Okay, here's the next one from Shrimp Cocktail. Oxy. What is oxy? Can it kill you? See? There you have it. If he's Googling oxy, what is oxy? Then the oxy didn't come from him. Can
Yeah.
it kill you? Then what is he doing? Trying to figure out what killed her, right?
Yeah.
CW Googled, what is Oxy? Can it kill you?
You know, if you took probably enough of that Imitrex with the nausea medicine and a bunch of other pills, you could probably start hemorrhaging inside. I never thought about that, but you probably could. Technically, you probably could because there's warnings on a lot of stuff, you know. And if she was pregnant, well, is that if the pregnancy wasn't, if the fetus had already passed and she just had spontaneously lost it, was it due to a lot of these medications and stuff that she was taking? Because there's warnings on everything, even on that Imitrex, even on that nausea medicine, the
I'm
particular
trying to
kind she
remember
was
something.
taking.
I remember how I had that problem with my ankle and I was in
Mm-hmm.
pain. I either took like a Tylenol or an aspirin. I'm trying to think. I think it was aspirin. Like the first, it was like a 3-day thing. The first day it hurt really, really bad. I took a bunch of aspirin because that's all I had in the house.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to have to run to the store and I could barely walk on my ankle. So I took a bunch of aspirin. And then, yeah, I took the aspirin first. Then I went to the store the next day at the drugstore and I said to the pharmacist, like, what's the best? And I showed her my ankle. And I said, I took a bunch of aspirin yesterday, but it still hurts. And she's like, well, what do you need? And then she talked, I think it was Tylenol. It was one of those, whatever, that isn't aspirin, like acetaminophen or whatever.
Yeah, like for Tylenol. Yeah. Actually, aspirin can make your stomach bleed. It's really not.
Well, this
to
is what
take
she told me.
aspirin.
That's why I'm saying this, because I had no clue. She said, what you need is one of them. I don't know which one. She said, but because you had aspirin yesterday, she told me to wait so many days before I took the other thing. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, it can give you a problem with your stomach. She was talking about the possibility if you mix aspirin
Mm-hmm.
and the other one. And
Yeah.
so I had to be in pain because I took aspirin the first day.
Okay. There was a medication called Arutis AT. And my dentist and my doctor used to say use that, and it was fabulous for pain, over the counter pain medicine. You know, they took it off over the counter and made it prescription, and it's called ketoprofen. They hardly ever use it, but it is something that has ibuprofen and something else in it, but it doesn't make you dopey and it doesn't do stuff like that. It's just, they just don't use it much anymore, but it was fabulous for arthritis pain. I'm telling you, an
And
inflammation.
they took it off the market?
They took it, made it where you had to get a prescription. It went from Arutis KT. It used to be a round green pill that you could take. And my dentist was the one that said inflammation causes pain and you need to get rid of the inflammation. And he said that was great along with an antibiotic. And it was great stuff. It worked every time. And I could use it for my back. I could use it, for my neck, anything that I had, even after I had my kids, it was great. It really was. And they took it off the over the counter, and now it's called ketoprofen. If you research it, it's called ketoprofen, but you have to have a prescription. But it's hard to get. They don't hardly make it anymore because doctors don't use it, and I don't understand. I don't. I think for some people it worked great. It sure did for me. And I even got the ketoprofen for a long time from uh, my doctor when I had all those fractures and stuff in my back and stuff, and I could use it. It helped a lot, along with just some Tylenol 3, and it was great. It really was. I'm just saying it was good. I don't know why they took it off, but yeah. Steve Brooks saying Stanbeck used to be great too. Can't find anymore. Yeah, they're getting rid of a lot of that stuff that used to be good. And a lot of times I took Imitrex for migraines, and I quit having migraines mainly after I went through menopause. But also, I used to use those BC powders quite a bit years and years ago. You could just take and use that powder, and it would go to work right away. That BC powder, but it has a lot of aspirin in it. So, yeah. But I know a lot of people that still use it for headaches. Mm. You're right, Holly. Oxy's no joke. And Junior's, well, yeah, he had a lot of issues with drugs too. We know that.
There's a calprofen.
Well, it's KET, something like that. Kate Profen. Yeah, like ibuprofen, only ketoprofen. Did you find it?
No, I found calprofen.
Was
Okay, now I have it.
okay. I'm just telling you, it was great, and it's for inflammation. My dentist told me that years and years ago, back in the very late 80s, early 90s. That's what he told people to use. He'd give you some Tylenol 3 too, if you had like a root canal or something. But man, that stuff was great. I'm just telling you.
Can you hear me or no?
Can hear you.
Okay. It says, why is ketoprofen no longer available? It
Okay.
says adverse effects. In October of 2020, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, required the drug label to be updated for all non-steroidal
Right. Yeah.
anti-inflammatory medications to describe the risk of kidney problems in fetuses that result in low amniotic fluid.
Okay. Well, of course, I couldn't have any more kids when I was put on it. So, and they may not have known that back then, but if you think of it, it was good though. I mean, they should put those labels on there like that. I'm just telling you, it was really good for inflammation.
And
And compared
it
to
looks
what
like
steroids do to me, it makes my blood sugar go nuts. And that stuff give me the relief that I needed without it making my sugars go crazy. So I don't know.
I think it is still available. That was just the
Mm.
question on it.
Yeah, I think you can get it. It's just you have to get it from certain manufacturers. Doctors just don't prescribe it that much anymore because it is. A matter of fact, I'm going to ask my primary care doctor about that. See if she'd let me have that next time instead of wanting to. She's trying to figure out something I can use instead of needing steroids because of my sugar. And I thought I just thought about that. I'm going to ask her to put me on that for that
That's a good
stuff.
idea because ketoprofen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
So good for you.
And for my hands, that would be great, man. It would. Yeah.
Good for you. That would be smart because the steroids are too weird.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Here's one. It says the brand is Frotek, Frotek.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be the name now that they're calling it. I don't know.
Could be.
Frotek, TEK.
Okay.
Availability.
I'll research it some. Yeah.
Availability, prescription needed, alcohol avoid. Very serious interactions can occur.
Yeah, that's on a lot of stuff that I don't drink. I bet I haven't had a drink in years, and I think I had one strawberry margarita back 4 years ago. And that was it. I just never. I don't like to drink. I seen too much of that when I bartended.
Yeah, I'm not a drinker.
I
either.
will, Gina. I'll let you know if the doctor approves it.
We should though. We should have we could have a wine fest with wine or something. Okay, here we go. And then they could call us cackling old ladies.
No
Shrimp
kidding.
Cocktail says SW was a pill popping junkie. I agree with you, Shrimp Cocktail, because you know
I think
what?
so.
When she would look into the camera and just go, it's like that, like her eyes and stuff. I don't know.
Do you remember the one when she was doing those cannoli things, those little cup things?
Geez.
And Cece was in the bathroom saying, and Bella said she fell in the toilet. She just kept going. That needs to be, she's got a video up and took all of that background radio that she had playing noise out. Oh my God. You can hear she left her locked in that bathroom. You
Is
could
that the
hear
one
that kid screaming, wanting out of the bathroom for a long time. Yes. She did it a month ago. I just found it a while ago, earlier tonight. I meant to tell you about that. You can hear a lot more of what went on. And I think that's why Bella ducked down in that chair when she said, tell everybody to hold, please. But she just kept going on. And I mean, you could hear Cece in the background screaming. You could hear her. Just, I don't know. Just act like it was nothing. Just, oh, it just, I don't know. And yet we're not supposed to talk about that stuff, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That YouTube and being on doing your videos was more important than watching your own children, and making sure they were safe. And she
Yeah,
even said that one time that she was eating old food out of the vents and getting in the dog's food, eating the stuff. Really? And you don't stop your child from doing
I
that?
don't think she could. I don't think she was allowed to.
That may be too.
I think whoever was supervising was supposed to be in charge of that stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that shrimp cocktail.
Mhm.
Good thing I got the banner going.
What? Oh gosh. Mm-hmm. Looking for something. I wondered about that. Do you see what that laser lady said that she um, had a problem with that oxy for years every day, and she said she knew SW was doing the same. Probably when CW picked kids up from school because by that time of the day she would be lit. That kind of makes sense too, because I know she wasn't allowed to drive, but I don't think she was allowed to. Maybe what if she did have a drug problem too? You know, and what if they were trying to keep her off of drugs and stuff, and along with her other illnesses, and
Well, it might be a way to self
it
medicate.
escalated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see shrimp cocktail seen that too. That video. I know it's not up anymore, but you're right. I seen it and it was disgusting. She said, I'll just give her some milk. She
Yes, SW was labeled a seeker. That's something Cindy Watts told me. That at the hospitals in North Carolina, SW was a seeker.
Mhm.
Cindy Watts said that.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, I remember that video too, Angelica, where she was in their crib and she kept wanting out and stuff, and then Bella was in the bathroom crying for help and she just ignored it. Yeah, she sure did. She kept saying, "Well, I'll be there in a minute," and she's just busy doing those videos. But again, I do think after watching that makeup tutorial one and knowing that her mom was there, and she said, "It's okay, mom, I've got this." Um, that's kind of a strange thing for a mother to say. It's okay, mom, I've got this. Mm, yeah, and she didn't have it because her and her milk kept giving her that empty cup back and kept calling Cece a bedhead and just, I mean, Bella, and just kept I'm dropping everything because of this child I love so dear. I just don't know a mother ever using that terminology. I'm dropping everything because of this child I love so dear. Never heard that.
Yeah, I
Never
never heard
heard it.
that. Never.
Never. Mm-mm. Never, ever heard it. And I never heard a mother call her child a bedhead either. And look, kid, we got to get you dressed. Look at you, kid. We got to get you dressed. Kid, gee, I don't know where these people come up with that terminology. I don't know. Yeah. Mm. Just weird, huh?
Yeah, I'm just going through. When the comments are longer, it takes me longer.
Yeah. Well, there's somebody that just
Yeah.
popped in too on down there. It looks like might
Oh,
stir some problems.
I'm way up. I'm
Gee.
way high. I'll scroll down. Oh my gosh, I'm way behind you guys. Oh my goodness, I
I'm
didn't
fast.
know.
I can look at them fast to see where everything's going real quick. Yeah, you're right, Angelique. It looked like I agree. Somebody was always there and she was never alone with him. I agree. It was very weird. Lots of red flags. That's what I said. If anybody can watch that one video and not see stuff, warning signs. I mean, I don't get them. I don't get it. You see the one that's after Sharon here again, this Jane, it's right under shrimp cocktail. She was doing it up above too. I don't know why she's telling her to shut up. Oh, gee, people. It's right under that one. I don't know, sure, what we can do to make a change. That's why we talk about this. I keep hoping that,
Hey,
I
Knock
think bringing attention to
Futz.
that kind of, huh?
Hey, Knock and Futz, will you please email me? Because I'm kind of curious to compare notes on that, if you don't mind. And then I have a private message for you, Star Mama.
Okay.
I'm hitting the wrong keys. Hold on.
Oh, you haven't. I was going to say, wait a minute, I don't see it. My behind. Oh, dear.
I
No,
it.
no, I can't.
No? Okay.
I can't. I'll let you know if I can, but I can't so far.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
I'm looking.
Sorry. That was
Yeah.
one
But you know,
triple.
people can block you from seeing them. You do know that.
Go
People
to
can
private,
block you from seeing their
go to private
comments.
chat. Go to private
Mm,
chat.
okay. Uh, oh, I see what Mrs. Ben said. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. Do you see the last one?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, you guys in chat. We're just so techno savvy here.
Okay. Yeah. This is crazy. Uh-oh, there's your second yawn.
I know. I know it. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
you
feel
come
so
on
old.
pretty late, but we did need to address things. We did.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll just say it again. You know, Mia, if you're listening to this, please really try to see exactly what they're doing, hon, because they're doing it to you again. You really did such a good job pulling away from them steering you into, you know.
Lucy Lastic said, "Hi all, what did I miss?" Mrs. Ben said, "Hey Lucy, a bunch, laugh out loud."
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, here comes yawning with me.
See, you
Yeah.
on your bed wrapped up in that weighted blanket?
Oh, I love my weighted blanket. Anybody in chat, if you don't have a weighted blanket, run, don't walk to your nearest store and get a weighted blanket. It's just, it's like a, I don't know, it's so comfortable. It's so comfortable. I had no clue what I was
Wait,
missing
you're
out on.
talking about it. I'm going to have to get one. I've heard
Yeah,
about them, but I've never
it's
got
so comfortable. I'm just amazed at how, I love it. I just love it. That
one.
sounds so stupid, but it is just, um, I thought it was interesting how you said that it's used for like kids with autism and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just makes sense because that would add to like the calming. I think it just calms your senses. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, can you sleep well under a weighted blanket. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you can sleep for 5 hours, get up, go to the bathroom, sleep another 4 hours, you got me sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, listen to
I think that's what I
Mildred.
said the
Mildred
first.
said,
Oops.
she went,
No,
oh,
go
I mean,
ahead.
it's Gina. She said, I've had one in the trunk of my car since last Black Friday.
Oh, Gina, get it out of your trunk, man.
Yeah, get
Get
out
it
of your
out of
trunk,
your
use
trunk.
it.
It is seriously like that's what I want everyone in chat. I want you to buy yourselves a Christmas
Mrs. Ben said it makes her sweat, hot flash. Not good
gift.
for hot flashes. No, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, probably not. Uh-oh. Another yawn. So let me just finish up here real
You
quick
got
with
me yawning too now, so you can stop anytime.
is it contagious? But
Yeah.
I definitely hope that Mia is able to stand up to what's going on
Hmm.
because it's kind of as obvious as all get out, and it isn't obvious when it's happening to you. Like there,
Hmm.
she had a couple of years where they were telling her what to do, but she thinks she can trust different ones, and they have some who are a little more obvious than others and whatever.
Hmm.
They just don't want her talking about the case. They want to be able to tell her what to say.
Yeah.
So it's really sad because I was really proud of her when she was able to stand up against their crap.
Yeah. Mm.
Mrs. Ben said she could barely do a top sheet. That's
And shut the F up. Donnie said, I have a husband that is a heat blanket. Laugh out loud. You get away from him and hit the couch sometimes. He throws out a bunch. That's what my husband said about me. And he'd always try to wanted to cuddle up to me all the time because he said, you keep me warm. But I can't, I would just get really hot. I had to sleep with a fan in my face all the time. Now I can't because it makes my arms hurt, my shoulders, and it'll make me where I can't hardly talk. So
oh
I,
wow.
that draft from the fan's just not good. It's just not from, I'm going to have to get enough. See, about 2 years ago, my ceiling fan decided it wanted to fall down. And thank God it had a safety thing on it because I was sitting right underneath it
Oh my goodness.
on the bed. So yeah, I was kind of afraid to put another one up. So um,
Yeah. Does it have a reinforced like a stud up there, an extra stud?
yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people throw ceiling fans up and they don't maybe do the
My husband was a Class A journeyman. You got to be kidding. Everything was double, double. Make
probably.
sure nothing would fall. Yeah.
But I mean, there for a while back, building houses 50 years ago, whatever, every room had a ceiling fan number.
Hmm.
People were throwing them up everywhere.
He built me a stand for my Afghans to go over. And
Yep.
my blanket. These blankets. I've got some blankets that my great great grandmother made. That's two of them. They're over 150 years old, and I don't dare wash them. I don't touch them. I've just got
Yeah.
them hanging there. And I always ask him, I said, can you build me one of those hutches, well, someday. He never did. He was so burnt out on building stuff, I think, by the time he got home, it's just, he didn't
Yeah.
want to fool with it. But he did make some nice little shelves, to go up in the rooms for the kids and stuff, the grandkids. So it's nice. He even built a
Yeah.
coffee table for me one time. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Don't have a husband, but I got a dog that likes to lay right in my back. So
The dog's probably like, oh, you keep me warm.
yeah, especially when we had no power, when we had that freeze that come through
Yeah.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was horrible.
Well, if you had a weighted blanket, you wouldn't worry about losing power.
I'm laughing about Mrs. Finn saying, Mommy earned this kid. Yeah, she said that too. Oh my gosh, I've just never thought in 100 years I'd ever say anything like that to one of my kids. Call them a
I
kid.
know, and the whole idea of Mama earned this, it's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding
Hmm.
me? Mama earned what?
The those crowbars, I think. Remember?
Right, but I mean, earned, like
Yeah,
Mama,
earned. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, she had access to Christopher Watt's paycheck, I guess.
Angelica said dogs are the best. Who needs a husband? Yeah, well, I'm kind of at my age. I'm not interested anymore, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
unless maybe a retired, I would say a retired governor with a horse ranch.
mm. Retired governor with the horse ranch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, retired anybody that's got something, you know, a ranch would be nice. Yeah.
Now I think a retired governor would be interesting. You
Oh
know,
my
because then they
gosh.
would have
You
like,
would think that would be interesting. Yeah.
well, and I'm trying to think how this all started. Wasn't it Elizabeth Taylor who married a retired governor?
I don't remember.
I think it was Elizabeth Taylor, but I'm not sure. What was his name? He was a really good looking guy.
Yeah, get you a vision board and put that on your vision board. You want a governor with a ranch, horse ranch.
I think that's when we started saying that. Yeah, retired governor with a
Hmm.
horse ranch.
Yeah. Maybe I think maybe she did come to think of it.
Was Mike Todd a governor? No. Mike
Oh,
Todd
she
was,
was married to another Michael though.
yeah, Mike Todd was the, now wait a minute. Was it Eddie Fisher?
Eddie
But
Fisher was an actor, wasn't
didn't she steal Eddie Fisher from Debbie Reynolds?
he? Probably.
Am I right, you guys? Help me in chat. I
You know,
think
she stole Richard Burton from his wife, so yeah.
why
They got really hot and bothered over that Cleopatra movie, you know. You know,
well, I think they were
that.
really meant to be together though. I think
Yeah,
the
they
two,
were. Yeah.
and didn't he have like a big Catholic family, like 6 kids or something?
Hmm.
Oh wait, no, that was Phil Donahue.
He didn't have 6 kids, but
No, that was Phil Donahue. When Phil Donahue met Marlo on his show,
mhm.
he was married and a big Catholic family, and I think they had something like 6 kids.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And you could see the two of them falling in love right on the show.
Oh, Angelica said she married one of the Hiltons. Hmm.
Was it Nikki? Did she marry Nikki?
Don't ask me. That woman was married a lot of times.
Yeah, I think she married, was it Nikki maybe? I don't know. But she met, she and her husband were friends with
Good night,
Debbie Reynolds,
Netflix.
Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, and her and Eddie Fisher got together. But
Hmm.
I've got to see. I think the
I think
retired,
Debbie Reynolds and him had a couple of girls together, didn't they? Debbie
yeah, I think
Reynolds
so.
and Eddie Fisher, or
Yeah.
2 or 3 kids, if I remember. Hmm. But I do know that's when Richard Burton and her fell in love was over that Cleopatra movie.
Yeah.
They had to do a lot of those scenes. I can kind of see where that
Oh,
might have gone.
yes. John Warner.
Oh yes, how could we forget him? Well, like
Yes.
she was married a lot of times, though. That's why I'm. Now I do know Richard Burton got her the biggest diamond ring at that time that anybody ever
6 times. John
had.
Warner. That's where we
Yeah,
got the. That's where we got the saying. I want a retired governor with a horse ranch, because
When
that
one
was.
of her husbands killed in a car wreck or something.
I think that was Nikki Hilton, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not
I
even
do.
sure if it was Nikki Hilton. If that was his first
I
name.
thought maybe Michael Todd was. I can't remember. It's been too long. I'd have to research her again. I used to know all that stuff. You know.
You know, we should have an Elizabeth Taylor chat.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. She was
That'd
very
be fun.
interesting. Hmm.
I think that'd be fun.
She was
But
very
yeah,
talented, wasn't she? You know. And
well,
you know, even when she got and she was in that wheelchair and couldn't walk, she kept herself up. She looked really good. She really
well,
did.
didn't she have like a 20-something-year-old or a 30-year-old construction worker?
Who?
Elizabeth Taylor.
I don't. I know she had.
Or wait, was that Liza Minnelli?
Since she, I think, I think Elizabeth Taylor
Not
had a couple
Liza.
of boys. I can't
And
remember if she had a girl or not. I think she had a couple of boys.
Liza Minnelli's mom. No, not a son. Her last husband was like a 30-year-old construction worker, wasn't he?
Oh, you mean, yeah, that one young guy. Yes.
Am I right
Yeah.
or no?
You mean Elizabeth Taylor? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She married that guy's a lot, about 30 years younger than her. Yeah. At the time.
And
Yeah.
he was
Wow.
hot, just like the retired senator with the horse ranch. He did find the hotties, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Hey, you got to give it to Elizabeth Taylor. She was a nice looking woman, you know.
Oh yeah, and
She
her voice,
mhm,
her
kept herself up. Yeah.
she had those icy, like they weren't blue eyes, they were like lavender eyes.
Yeah. I have a child that has those. The daughter has those eyes. They're
Oh
very
my god,
pretty. Yeah, they're very
very
pretty.
pretty.
Hmm. Yeah, they're a weird color. Yeah.
Yeah, the handyman, Mrs. Ben.
Yes, that's who it was.
I think
Yes.
wasn't his name Larry? I think his name was Larry.
Yes. Remember he was so laid back and everything.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
so nice. He had that curly
Hmm.
hair,
Yeah.
remember? And she'd put her fingers up in his hair, and they would
Yeah.
just
They
laugh.
showed him out at the pool. Remember, out at her pool and stuff
Yep.
together. Yeah, I
Yes.
remember now. Yep. My
Yeah. They were
memory's
so
coming back.
happy.
I haven't lost it yet.
Yep. They were so happy, and you could tell he really loved her.
Yeah, I think so. But even her and Richard Burke, they um, they were very close. You know,
They were what?
very close.
Oh yeah. But they
Just
also
really.
fought like cats and dogs.
Yeah, that's true too.
And didn't they drink a lot too?
Yeah. Another couple that I was always shocked about was Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Their marriage didn't last long, and they both, well, she moved on and married somebody else, but she was on the phone talking to him the night he passed away. They stayed in that
Oh
close of
yeah.
contact for years. They really did. And the
Oh
one
yeah.
that played Fred and Ethel, they hated each other on the set. I used to read articles where they couldn't stand each other. That
I didn't
something?
know that. You
Oh
couldn't tell.
yeah, yeah.
You couldn't tell. What was Lucille Ball's husband's name? Don something?
Mm,
Don?
I mean,
He was,
yeah, the one she married. Yeah, she
yeah,
married him for a long time, didn't she? When she married him till he died or something.
oh yeah, they were married a long time. And
Yeah.
then they were on this show where you say a word and then the other person guesses.
Hmm.
Like you give one word hints and then the other person guesses what you're talking about.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And she had her husband and then Desi Arnaz Jr. and then
Hmm.
Lucy,
Yeah.
Lucy Jr.
Hmm.
and or Lucy Arnaz.
Yeah.
When they were like 12 and 13 years old,
Right.
they looked hilarious. It is the most hilarious thing to watch because Lucy's just bouncing back and forth because the kids would switch sides then, and when
Hmm.
they team up differently. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it was so funny. Desi acted kind of like he didn't want to be there, but Lucy was like bouncing,
Well, they claimed that, and he did too, that his career is what broke their marriage up because he was jealous of her career. And he wanted to be successful in being a band, and doing that. And it was just a lot. They were underneath a lot of pressure, I do believe,
Well,
the way they talked.
do you think maybe that he might have had a temper too,
I think so.
kind
Yeah,
of like Richard Burton?
I think so.
I kind of always thought maybe he had a temper.
Yeah. Well, they say he wasn't like he was on I Love Lucy, that he didn't, how he'd go, holler at her and stuff like that, when she does stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess it was, I think he drank a lot too, from what I can remember researching.
Right. Right.
They were just it was just in a love-hate relationship is what it was, and it just didn't work, But they did stay very close, Uh, which a lot of people don't do, especially after they've been married to somebody else for years and their kids are that grown and stuff, that they stayed in very close contact because she said it broke her heart because she talked to him that night when he died. And um, she said that really bothered. And do you know that when she was in the hospital with the heart problem stuff, do you know she still had to have her hair done and her makeup done and everything?
Well, of
Her
course.
daughter said, yeah, she wouldn't let anybody see her without her hair done and her makeup and everything.
You
She
know, that
was,
used to be normal to have beauticians go to the hospitals. Like, that was normal. When I
yeah.
was in beauty school, that was one of the things that they taught us. In fact, while I was in beauty school, we would go do that up at the hospital
Hmm.
because when people are in the hospital, they still have to get their hair done.
Well, they
But
go
they,
to nursing homes that do it too. They'll give barbers that go and give guys haircuts, and they'll go in and give the ladies perms or do their hair, cut it, style it. They do that.
yeah, we were at the hospital part. But you know what I was just wondering? Yeah, you know how we were talking about how back in the 80s there really weren't daycare centers?
Yes.
Or like there were very few of them? Um, I don't remember nursing homes when I was younger.
You don't?
I'm trying to think. I don't
I
remember.
worked. I worked in them in the 80s. Hmm.
Oh my! Oh, that's right. My mother-in-law. My mother-in-law actually did too. I totally
Yeah.
didn't. Okay.
I was a nurse's aide actually. I dump the measure the stuff from the catheter bags, and I'd help turn them. The ones that were had to be turned, tube fed and stuff. And
Yeah.
I would bathe people, get them up, get them ready for breakfast,
But think
change
about it.
them, do all that stuff. Yeah.
Think about it. I don't think there were that many.
Mm. There probably wasn't a lot of them.
Or if there were, I just
I
never
know they were
noticed.
expensive. If the people got the people who got the most um, things back then. Do you know when I was working there, they wouldn't even Medicare didn't even pay for attends and stuff. They just pay for those pads to go underneath them. Only the private paid people got that kind of stuff then. Now that's all changed. And believe me, that was a mess when you had to take and change all the bedding and their clothes and everything. I mean, you just, yeah. And you had to keep them on those lamb cloth things to keep their skin from breaking down. Yeah, it was horrible. I've seen some really bad stuff. Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention.
It's getting to be a little bit much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Some people just want to
MTV.
come in and stir it up. What can I say?
I know
Nola said, and socks matched her shirt. Yeah.
it. Reruns. Reruns.
And see, I was during the hippie age, guys, in the
Friendship
'60s.
bracelet.
Yeah, during the hippies. Yeah, friendship bracelets. Yes, I remember those. Oh, yes. Mhm. Those were the days. Yes, I agree. Yeah, she was a hottie back in the day. Oh, Mrs. Ben, you're something. Usually, her and Marge are in here just keeping things going.
I
And
know it.
Marge is
Yeah,
hilarious.
Marge must be busy.
Sleeping probably a little later.
Like, no, she's more intelligent than we are.
Mhm. Oh, Mrs. Benz was talking about her mom. She said, my mom, laugh out loud. Yeah, she was a hottie back in the day. Laugh out loud. I always ask her what happened. She says, you. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
That is cute. Yeah. Oh, Miss Betty White. Yes, she was really, I agree. She was a fantastic woman.
Oh, I know it. And I love the
Yeah.
Golden Girls. That was so fun.
And she looked so good too. She did. Her caregiver said that night when she went to bed that they heard her, well, somebody had lived there. I think she didn't really, wasn't really well, they said caregiver. I don't know, helped her do things and stuff. She had a lot of animals, a lot of exotic fish and stuff, and a lot of things, but probably helped her,
Are you
do her
talking about
hair.
Betty White?
Yes, they said the
Okay.
night. She said the night that they said the night that happened when she passed. Right before she passed, you could hear her calling out for Alan, her husband.
Oh no way! What was his
Yeah,
name? Alan
Alan.
Levy or something?
Yeah, she never married again. That was the love of her life.
Wow.
Hmm. They heard
Yeah,
him calling out to him.
that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Kind of cool, but
yeah.
weird.
Well, they said they thought maybe that she seen him right there. She was talking to him like he was right there. You
Wow, that's pretty cool.
know?
I think it's romantic when someone dies and then like 3 months later their longtime, spouse dies. I think that's so
Yeah,
romantic.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Katharine Hepburn. Yeah, I liked her too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, she is something.
there's a
She
lot of
is.
ones back in the old movies and stuff that I enjoyed, and those women had a lot of class. The way they were. I always told my mom I'd like to live in a time where they wore all those fancy dresses, and the hats, and
Yeah,
carried the purses and the real pretty umbrellas and stuff. And she said, "Oh my gosh,
yeah.
yeah,
Ava Gardner, Joan Crawford. I didn't think was pretty, but that might be because of that mommy dear stuff. I don't
yeah."
know.
She did do that. Was weird. Yeah, those eyes of hers. Yeah. Hmm.
I didn't
Those
know
were
Bea
the
Arthur.
good days. I'm just saying. Mhm. A lot of good act, and people think the actors and actresses are really good now, not compared to what they were years ago. I don't think. I really don't. Marilyn Monroe, yes, she was beautiful. She was. Betty Davis eyes. She's got Betty Davis eyes. I remember that song. Yeah, that was cool. The Golden Girls were. I'm telling you, each one of them had their own little thing, didn't they? About them. It was interesting.
Interesting, Mrs. Ben. I didn't know that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that either.
Okay, I better probably play a song and then click off because I'm sitting here enjoying this, talking about all these different movie stars.
Yeah. Do you know it's 2 o'clock, almost your time?
And yeah, and I am like, dozing here.
I
So,
figured you were.
yeah, I better, before I start snoring.
No, don't do that because I don't know how to click you off. I can't do that.
Exactly. You'd have to do like Honey Badger, remember? Mensa!
Mensa, Mensa, wake up. What am I supposed to do here? Mensa,
Mensa's
come
sleeping,
back.
guys.
Yeah.
That was
She
funny.
was losing it, wasn't she? Yeah.
Well, that
She said,
was
I don't know
funny.
what to do. Yeah.
She's
That
like,
was
well,
funny.
guys, I think she's sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you laughed it up, and that was what's so funny
Oh,
about it
yeah.
too. Yeah, you loved it.
It was funny. It was so funny. Because
Mm.
I was gonna delete it, but it was just too funny seeing what
Yeah,
you
and she
guys
even
were
told
doing.
you, don't delete that. Keep it up. I told you to keep it up too. Don't delete it. No, that
Yeah, it
was
was too
interesting.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go with Elvis, and I'm going to say thanks so much for being here, you guys. I'm glad you hopped right up. I almost called you your name. I'm glad you hopped right up, Star Mama. Um,
It doesn't matter. You
yeah,
know,
they know your name.
it is what it is. What can I say? Yeah.
I'm glad that we
Mm.
talked about it because
Yes.
I think part of the whole scumbag attacker routine is that they want us to be like, oh no, they're gonna do, and it's like, oh, this is all so old. It is
Hmm.
so old. It's the same crap,
Yeah.
different way. I just hope for Mia's sake that she can pull away from it.
I do
And
too because that I just blew my mind. It did. I just never would have. Just wasn't like her at all.
yeah, I feel sad. It's kind of like Dang it.
Yeah, Mia, just tell them to stick it in their bippy, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because she made it. She made it so far of being able to say enough of that crap, you know. And then it seems like she's already right back in it.
Now they're saying shine like a bippy.
That's a good one.
That bippy's going to go a long ways, isn't it?
Yeah, if we can find something that's a reasonable price, though, I just hate to put anything out there because that one I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at was $48. No way.
Mrs. Ben said, shove it up your bip.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, there you go again. Hurry
yeah,
up, Elvis. Better play before she goes to sleep.
yeah, really. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say, everybody, thank you for being here and be safe, be healthy, choose to be happy. Don't forget to take your vitamin E. Don't forget to take some vitamin C also. And keep zinc, ZINC, on hand. I
Right.
think that's just what I'm saying. You know, right?
Don't forget to eat your salmon.
Eat salmon.
And
And
watch those oxidate foods that cause kidney stones too, guys. Research it. Pretty interesting.
yeah,
Just
and
telling you.
remember, salmon helps prevent kidney stones, evidently.
It's very
Right?
good for you and kidney
Yeah.
stones.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, most important of all, and this includes you, Mia, and I mean it, even though you mocked us for this, I don't think you should have mocked us for this, but we understand that's the scumbag attackers telling you to say that. So, man, I hope Mia can pull away from that crap.
Me too. Me
But yes,
too.
Mia and everyone in chat and Star Mama and everyone who's listening, yes, you are loved. Always
Yeah.
remember that. You are
Yes.
loved.
Exactly.
So, good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody. Thank you for
Now we're
being
going to
here.
listen to
Appreciate it.
Elvis sing us a love song here.
And you're right, Angelica. Water and lemon. You're right.
Yeah.
Lemon's good.
Take away my daughter's rights.
Exactly. The water and lemon is something you can start off your day to, and it'll help
Yes.
against heartburn. It'll
Yeah.
help get your tummy working. Okay, so here we go with Elvis. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. Satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. on my mind. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I